Started 14 years ago is now ready for use by the occupier of the second highest political office in the land. Contract for the official residence of the vice president was first awarded in 2010 at a cost of 7 billion naira, but was abandoned by successive administrations which may not have considered the project a priority amid other pressing national demands. However, the Federal Capital Territory Administration under Nyesom Wike thought it necessary to conclude work on the project with a revised budget of 21 billion naira, which was approved by the National Assembly.
A vice president resident.
1 year after the official commissioning of the vice presidential lodge that was renovated by the administration of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu under the supervision of the Minister of the Federal Capital Territory Abuja, Nyesom Wike. 1 year after the renovation of that edifice, why is the vice president still living in Aguda House, the official residence of the vice president, and is yet to move in to the new residence that the federal government of Nigeria spent extra 15 billion naira to complete it? This question becomes pertinent to draw attention to the prioritization of development of Nigeria by the present administration. You wouldn't believe it that it was in June 7, 2024 that the vice president's official residence was commissioned by President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. In fact, at the commissioning, he was represented by Vice President Kashim Shettima. So 1 year after, why is Kashim Shettima still living in Aguda House and he has not yet moved in to a house that cost the federal government, taxpayers, 22 billion naira in total to complete? Remember, the vice presidential lodge was awarded in 2010 or thereabout at the cost of 10 billion. At the cost of 7 billion, I think. Yeah, cost of 7 billion naira. It was awarded to Julius Berger. Now, the project was said to had been abandoned after President Bola Ahmed Tinubu appointed Nyesom Wike as the Minister of the Federal Capital Territory Abuja. The Tinubu administration considered it necessary to spend extra 15 billion to complete the project, meaning that in total that project cost taxpayers money from 2010 a whopping 22 billion. That was completed and commissioned on June 7, 2024. Today is over a year, because I'm making this video at a more than on the 17th of June 2025. So why is it that the vice president has not moved in? What is the problem stopping the vice president from taking over his residence that costs so much to be provided? Now, why did I make this video? Because I don't really care whether the vice president moved in or not. It's basically to draw attention to the fact that when people say that even if it was Peter Obi that is the president of Nigeria, he wouldn't have done anything different. can tell you for free, this vice presidential lodge, that extra 15 billion that was spent on that presidential lodge would not have been spent under a President Peter Obi, because that is not a priority. It's not so. That 15 billion could have done a lot in the rural communities in the Federal Capital Territory, Abuja, that don't have water, they don't have electricity, they don't have nothing. When Nyesom was vice president, there were attempts to repair, to renovate this vice presidential lodge. Being that Osibanjo is somebody who is a fiscal disciplinarian, he told them that no, I'm comfortable with Agoda house where I'm staying. You don't have to bother about spending money to go and renovate that vice presidential lodge. I'm okay at Agoda house. Now, given the state of the Nigeria's economy, given the state in which even the Tinubu himself confessed that he inherited a bad economy from President Muhammad Buhari, why then did he prioritize the building of vice presidential lodge when there is nothing wrong with Agoda house, where Nyesom was living and where Vice President Kashim Shettima is living presently, before Tinubu and Nyesom Wike embark on the project, when it is not a top priority? Because if it was really a top priority, over a year now, Vice President Kashim Shettima would have been living in the new vice presidential lodge, but he's not living there. This channel reliably gathered he is still at Agoda house. A President Peter Obi would not have allowed that. Just the same way Vice President Nyesom removed it from the budget when it was put there to renovate that project, saying he was okay with staying at Agoda house, which has become, for years now, the official residence of the vice president. You see why when people say that there's no difference between Peter Obi and Tinubu, all of them, they say they will remove fuel subsidy, all of them, they say they will float the naira. No, it's not true. There are some things you see, and when you look at the record of Peter Obi, you know that there is no way that would have happened under his administration. Don't forget that Tinubu himself is like the governor of Abuja. Anything you see Nyesom Wike do, even if it was a Nyesom Wike idea, Nyesom Wike's idea can only be approved by Tinubu. So whatever idea that Nyesom Wike is projecting and executing, it is Tinubu's idea, Tinubu's program. That Tinubu approved the renovation of that vice president lodge at a whopping sum of 15 billion shows his own priority, shows his own lack of fiscal discipline. At a time he claimed that he inherited a battered economy from Muhammad Buhari. If a government inherited empty treasury as they were claiming, why should the renovation of a vice presidential lodge that will gallop 15 billion naira be the priority of such a government? Now, interestingly, when the president gave his speech at the commissioning of the vice presidential lodge on June 7, 2024, he said that the reason they are completing that project is because they don't like waste. It's a waste of government resources to start a project. That project was started in 2010. It was awarded in 2010. Okay. He said it was a waste of resources to award such a contract, begin such a project and not complete it. Now that it had been completed, why is that place not being occupied by the person who's supposed to occupy it? Why is he still living in the old house 1 year after? It means there is something wrong in the prioritization of projects. Do you continuously, what is the essence of embarking on projects when those who are to benefit from it are not carried along? Because apparently, if the vice president was carried along, Kashim Shettima, he would have gladly moved into that place 1 year after it was commissioned. That shows you a brief bird's eye view of how this country is being run. It is not project that is of benefit to the public that they prioritize. It is project that is of the interest of those who are in charge for whatever reason. They just award contract and they execute projects without carrying along the beneficiaries. This is a top-bottom approach to execution of projects. It doesn't have sustainability. Because if you build a house for 1 year, the person that's supposed to move in there has not moved in there. Before you know it, the walls will start to crack. Before you know it, the facilities put in there begin to worn out of lack of use. This project that has been completed since last year it's over a year now, and it's not being used. It's an indication of wastefulness of resources by the Tinubu administration. I don't know what you think about this, but what do you think about an administration that completed a project for over a year now, and the beneficiary had not moved in? Is that not waste? Is that not a sign of lack of priority, lack of prioritization of projects? Because this same FCT Abuja has several communities in the area councils that they don't have water, they don't have electricity, they don't have road, they don't have nothing. They don't have primary health care. But a whopping 22 billion was wasted to house one man who is not even ready, who is not even showing eagerness to move in there. So who is the beneficiary of the completion of the project? Who do you think was the beneficiary of the project? If 1 year after its completion, the person for whom it was meant for was not eager to move in there, then what was the purpose of the billions invested in it? And what does that tell you about Tinubu administration? Whatever is your position, let's hear from you at the comment section. Thank you for watching this video. And if you are new to my channel, you have not yet subscribed to my channel, please subscribe to my channel. Hit the subscription button, hit the notification bell. When you subscribe to my channel and hit the notification bell, anytime I have a new video, you will be among the first to know. God bless you. And please don't forget to like this video, because when you like it, God will rank it high and recommend it for more people. Thank you, and God bless you and yours.